Well, morning all. Just a little correction apology before we start. A pal of mine, Chris, a photographer of renown, thought I was being weird by photographing schoolgirls. A little article appeared on in the last video message showing three girls walking away from the camera with very short skirts. That was not me, it was from Google Images, and one would think a professional photographer would know of that. But anyway, old Chris, he has a daughter, you can't say anything bad about that. But what I was trying to say was, well, it's got to be the parents or the school's fault. And lo and behold, I found another Google image. And there you go. Girls in bought frocks, dresses, whatever they're called, in high heels. Again on Google Images. Now that is the parents' fault. So I'm not walking around upskirting and photographing schoolgirls. I've always preferred the older end, to be honest, all my life, until I get to this age. And of course, if you'd still prefer them older, you've got to spare time to give them an ironing. So, not for me, I'm afraid. And apologies again, Chris. I'm losing a bit of faith in the Daily Mail, really. This latest little venture, I mean, are we really bothered? They did a freedom of information request on the money spent on the parents of these two babies, Charlie Gard and Alfie Evans. Doctors wanted to switch the life support machines off, and they fought it all the way through every court in the land until the babies were switched off. Now, can you blame them for that? And the Daily Mail is moaning that the legal bill was 500,000. Well, that's due to Ponzi barristers overcharging. It's nothing to do with the parents. They were trying to save the kids. And then, bit of comparison, we got that bloody ageing pop lunatic Bono, who backed a scheme to send £11 million. Goes without saying, not his money, taxpayers' money, that he thinks he can still put his name behind, to 35 poverty-stricken villages in Africa, actually Ghana, and it's all been wasted and lost. Well, makes your heart glow, doesn't it? And then, what are we doing? We're spending £69 million on revamping the centre of Salisbury. Taxpayers' money, because it was sprayed with Novichok. And then the Ministry of Defence, refitting and scrapping subs and what have you, suddenly have lost £200 million. Somebody's had it away by the reading of the article, but are the police involved? No. Tick of a box, written off. And they're moaning about these babies and the parents. Disgraceful. It's happening again. The Daily Mail, wouldn't you know, in the female columns. And they're abusing the term heroes with this little headline. Can't believe it. Kitchen table heroes taking on food giants by selling their own ketchup, crisps and biscuits. Well, that's heroic, isn't it? Bloody fools. At last, we get the real thing. Our Wayne Marks, the man of colour, and Charlie Ginnigold, who got the George Medal this week for taking on 3 terrorists, all armed with knives, whilst he was off duty, unarmed and unprotected. Well, similar like the cowardly commissioner, who locked himself in his car because he was unarmed and unprotected. And Charlie got stabbed numerous times and he's only just got out of hospital. Then he went back to work and he found he had PTSD. Now that's a real reason for PTSD, and a George Medal won't protect you from that. Well, can you believe it? Anyway, he's back at work and the cowardly commissioner is still in the news. And he's looking at his pension, which is, let me tell you, £154,000 for sitting behind a desk, a boardroom bobby. And it's how many? 12 more times than PC Palmer's widow will get on the event of his death. What a disgrace. And then you've got Cressida Dick, the Met Commissioner, agreeing there was nothing he could do because PC Palmer was fatally wounded already. Cressida Dick was responsible for Charles de Menezes being killed by the police because she didn't have the bottle to command the situation properly. And he was allowed to go in the underground where there was no radio signal, so the coppers had to work on their own initiative. So, like you do, they shot him dead. Brilliant. Remember this incident? Richard Osborne Brooks, 78 years of age, caught a traveller in his kitchen and stabbed him to death. Now he's the chap in this photo on the right. And the Sun had a campaign for him because guess who? The Assistant Commissioner. Yeah, the cowardly Commissioner, Craig Mackay, was in charge of this incident, and being frightened of the travellers, told the residents that they'd be arrested if they continued to pull down the floral tributes. Well, they continued to pull down the floral tributes, and the police had to find somewhere else to put them. And again, another cowardly act. Poor leadership, hiding behind his rank. Boardroom Bobby. Disgraceful. Well, I have to mention this. There's a plaque and these bronze figures erected outside Piccadilly Station in Manchester. Depicting real First World War I heroes walking in a line, hands on each other's shoulders because they're all blind, probably due to mustard gas or something like that. The plaque explains the figures, and that really is a sign of heroism. And it's at Piccadilly Station, not known for heroics, especially in the area of British Transport Police. But that's another story. Well, just to finish off, another opportunity to use my favourite picture. And this is directed at this little beauty, smirking, and there's no wonder. Anjem Chowdhury, hate preacher, as he's always headlined, is being released from prison on parole. It's going to cost £2 million to look after him while he's out, because they're going to watch him in case he reoffends. He's got his family already in a council house, and they're going to rehouse him somewhere safer. And then they're going to have CCTV on him and monitor his phones. But he's been given a mobile, but he's got to agree to have it checked now and again. And he's not allowed internet. And the United Nations are probably going to freeze all his assets. What assets? He lives in a council house. Anyway, let's see what happens with that. Now, parole means that you can go back into society, providing you're not likely to be a further risk. So they're putting all these measures in place to stop him being a risk. Why don't they just keep him in? Has the world gone mad? Well, the parole service has gone mad. They've proved that in the past, haven't they, with war boys. But bloody hell, fancy letting this lunatic out. So there we are. Another work of art finished. Now, I had some other nice little stories directed at the ladies. So, ladies, I'm going to do one just for you now. Not this minute, but the next one. Because I think there's some very interesting subjects coming out of female. That's part of the Daily Mail for those who read The Sun. And it's very interesting. And I'll try and be serious.